FOREX traders, welcome to my live day trading room. This is where I day trade. I'm currently not swing trading at the moment due to a couple of technical reasons, but I have here for you some stats on my day trading so far. As we stand, we do have a couple of open orders right now that are working. This is ever since I've been trading here with you folks. I started off fresh with a fresh account, and every single trade that I make here with you, and I post it on Facebook. So if you are interested in how I trade, let's go. Happy Monday morning. It's January 25th, 2021. 7:34 a.m. So we are an hour and 34 minutes into the New York session. Sorry for the late start. I haven't been feeling well, not COVID, but anyways, taking a look here. Let's go on over to the full white charts. In fact, let's take it on over. Let's take it on over to the swing trade. Even though we're not swing trading at the moment, I just marked out a few things here just because I want to keep the stats going. Okay, so I don't know if you can see here, but the euro, this is where it opened up at, and that's right here is where I would have taken it. So I'm going to keep the stats going on that. And so that was a short. And what else did I have here? This euro yen would have been a short, so I marked it right here. And by now the stop would have been placed just above here. It would have moved from here to here. So this is where my short was, or would have been. And my stop was up here, and it came all the way. It would come all the way down to here. So I'm just keeping track of this, just because I want to keep the stats going for when I go back to the swing trading. Okay, even though I have the long on the day trade lasting from Friday, this qualified as the short right here for the pound, and I still have the stop way up above, or I would have the stop still way up above. So a few of those there I'm just keeping track of right now, just to see how it performs while I am in hiatus from the swing trading. I will be coming back to that. Okay, so let's head on over now to see how we're looking at the day trading full pivots. Okay, so we have a few setups already. I didn't miss a lot yet. So I did have the day trades. One was here on the pound yen, and the other one was here. And I have targets way up above this direction, so we're right now we're just holding. I have stops just below here, but in order to validate any new day trades on both the pound USD, I also have a purchase on the pound going way back to here, right here. I bought the pound. And pound dollar, so I have also targets way up there, but in order to be able to get into any new trades, I do need for the pound to bounce off of the central pivot, and we're just too far away from that right now. I do have a trade set up here on the Aussie yen, and so let's see here, trade setup. I need it for it to come down, show failure to the downside during the New York or London session, and then a pop above. So I'm going to revisit that. This is the first time I'm taking a look at the charts right now because I just woke up. Trade setup here. I need for price to pop above. I'm looking at this as being a possible trade right now on the Aussie yen. Okay, so a possible trade setup here on the CAD yen. I need it to pop above, and then I'll buy the retest. Look at Bitcoin. Okay, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin here in a second. Okay, and possible trade setup right here on the euro yen. I would need for it to come up above central pivot. Possible trade setup here on the euro USD needed to come up above. Let's take a look here further on the Australian yen. Okay, so let's draw this out here because I am just waking up. Okay, so we have the trade setup, and I need the rejection to the downside and then pop above. That might be a trade coming up. I would need a couple of candles closure above 1, 2. Okay. Okay, this might be a trade setup. I'd rather it come down a little bit more through. If it had already popped above through the Asian session, I'd rather it make more of a like a rejection or a capitulation to the downside first before popping back above. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitty, bitty, bitty. Yeah, bitty. Okay, so here we go. Here's Bitcoin. I had a little bit of an. Remember that this is now the 4 hour. So I put this on the 4 hour now. So it was the 1 hour, now it's the 4 hour. Remember that we had that as the target. Okay, and also now I kind of see like a little bit of a new pattern, a falling wedge. Okay, this is what I got, a falling wedge on Bitcoin. So we're kind of at some resistance right now, and it did reach its daily target. Look at that, daily target for the bulls. And remember, we talked about Bitcoin coming down on the weekly, and then the 21 skirting those wicks to the downside, and now it's back up here. Okay, we talked all about that. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go watch the previous videos. Okay, now on top of that, we had a brand new high for Ethereum. So this is the Ethereum 1 hour chart. This is an all-time high that we had last night. I was thinking about doing a live show for it, but it wasn't enough volume, so I held off. We're fiddling around right now with that level. Maybe I will if we have an explosion to the upside. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. We're still fiddling around with this resistance, but it's not showing signs of rejection right now. Dollar index down and sideways. Okay, so this is Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. You can see how we had the explosion and now it's back testing, so we need to continue up. Bitcoin dominance found support and is now coming up to the 21 moving average on the daily. So that's a daily 21. So we're going to watch that one closely. If we get rejection off that daily 21, look for Ethereum to continue up. Going back to Ethereum, here we go. Okay. Let's pull back up my charts here. Okay. Yeah, if it looks to me like the bottom is just going to drop out. You're starting to see the bottom drop out across the board here on the dollars. Yeah, I didn't see enough capitulation down here. I'd rather it come down and show capitulation than bounce up down during the London or New York session. But yeah, look at the dollars heading down right now. It's kind of like a little bit of a topping out right here, and then breaching central pivot on the euro. Then this is resistance right in here, and then I'm starting to see a little bit of the same following on the pound dollar. Yeah. So right here is where, if I were to take the Australian yen, I'd take it, but I just don't see the capitulation to the downside. I see it to the upside, the capitulation. I don't see it to the down. I don't see it going the other way. If this comes down and starts to do one of these, and then pops back up, then we're in business. Yeah, we're watching this live right now, kind of having a little bit of sell-off. What's Bitcoin doing? Okay, it's fine. Let's see what kind of what kind of if we have any type of capitulation to the downside, then I'll be interested. All right, so we're just a few minutes later right now. This is on the dark charts. It's not looking so hot the way that the euro is moving right now, and the other dollars are following. It's a hot move to the downside, though. Let's go ahead and take a look here real quick at the weekly or the swing trading charts. Kind of want to see what type of if scenario bounces that we would get. So for pounds, so I'm kind of watching this right here, and I'm looking at this central pivot right here. So that would need to hold for me, and kind of a little bit more of a problem child here with the pound dollar, but this is my central pivot right here. So I need that to hold. I need that to hold, or else this is more like a head and shoulders. And I know I don't trade chart patterns, but if it does start breaching below, then that's going to show me weakness for sure. And here, this is the weekly buy zone right here for the Australian yen. So I need that to hold. And I'm seeing like not much strength on the Aussie. So the dollars are not showing me much strength at all. But this is the buy zone for the week if you're a bull. Same CAD. I don't trade CAD. But yeah, I'm just showing lots of weakness here also, and a breach below the monthly central pivot so far on the Euro USD. So I would need to see it come back above the central pivot for me to show me some strength in that pair and weakness in the dollar. Going on over to the CAD yen, yeah, I'm starting to see some indecision, maybe some topping out there, and the euro yen. This is definitely like the area that I needed to. This is the bullish buy zone within where the week monthly central pivot's at. So, yeah, we're definitely seeing some risk across the board right now, and so. Got me a little bit concerned about my pounds. I got my tight stops. I'm seeing the rejection at these levels here. Where the bears would sell. This is 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 where the bears would sell. Bitcoin. This is where the bears are going to sell. This is where the bears are going to sell. Yeah, maybe even in here for the CAD yen. This is where the bears would sell. So yeah, I'm starting to see possibly some weakness across the board. Could we be in for a bearish February? If so, then we may have to switch over to this chart here, which is my risk off. It's my risk off pivots. So let's kind of take a look here. Yeah, so that would mean that these boxes are going to start heading down, and that's my risk off scenario for February. I'm just starting to see it right now. So is this just a correction back to the mean, or is this a setup for a bearish February? But right now, until that happens, I am still on this chart right here. All right, look at the CAD and the Aussie on the yen side. Right at the end of the hour. Glad I didn't take that trade. Yeah, that's not good for my pounds. But again, the pound does what the pound wants to do. But yeah, this is my 21 moving average right there at resistance. So hopefully we can clear that. Also, I have all my moving averages starting to curl over. So this is not good for my current trades. Again, I have tight stops, and I'm just, playing that one out. But those are the only ones that are holding strong right now are my trades I have currently on with the pound yen and the pound dollar. Again, we're watching the sell-off here on the Aussies and the CAD yen. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at Bitcoin right now. I want to show you something. Whoa, let's go back. Okay, so this is the actual bearish sell zone right in here. Okay, that's the bearish sell zone. And that's right where the trend line is for the chart pattern. This is the bullish buy zone. Because I'm only a bull on Bitcoin, I'm going to mark this out right here. But keep in mind, this is exactly where the bears want to sell it. Right here. So you're right here right now at the M3 on the weekly. And this is the take profit zone on the daily pivots. So you have the bulls taking profits for today, and the bears getting in on the weekly time frame. So that's something to watch right now. My 21 for the so this is the bearish scenario right here. My 21 right now is down here. If we were to form another wick down, which is very possible, right down here, I do have a monthly central pivot that's right down here, and this is the monthly buy zone. So we can still do that and still have the 21 skirt. So there is still a lot of downside potential here on Bitcoin. I'm not saying it was over when it reached this right here, because we still have this as a new weekly target. So if they're selling here, that what they're trying to do is bring it right down to here, and then maybe I'll have like a different type of chart pattern going on. Maybe it's more something like this, or maybe it's a breach of something like this. So this is all still playing out right now, but I'm telling you, this is what the bears are trying to do right now. They're trying to sell it here right now. The bulls are on the day bulls, the day trading bulls are getting out as the bears are getting in. So this is something to watch right now. All right, taking another look here. We are getting a little bit of a bounce right now. Let's see if that holds. I need it to start breaking above this resistance right now. But maybe a double bottom off of this or something like that. That would be nice. So possibly a bounce on the central pivot for the pound yen. This is my M2 right here for the Australian yen. So we'll see if we get if this holds. If this holds, then we're going to be watching the central pivot right here, the weekly central pivot. Same thing here with the Australian US dollar. And same thing here with the CAD yen. This is my M2. This is the daily take profit right here. So we'll see if we can get a bounce there. This is we're breaching below central pivot right now. Let me go ahead and delete this out until we get any confirmations. And for the euro dollar, we did get the bounce right here at the M2, and we're at the central pivot, which is resistance right now. Keep in mind, price on the daily came all the way down to S1. So we'll see if we do get a nice bounce right here. So this is going to kind of set up the rest of the week. It's very important to see what happens here in this session. All right, if this thing's going to dump today, this is it right here. This is right where they're going to be selling. Because this is where the 21 is going to end up coming down, right? So this is a big watch for me right now to see if they start dumping from here on this bull candle that has not completed yet. If this turns into a big wick and then down, then that's a downslide for sure. Okay, it is 10:12 a.m. It's a fast-moving market today, so we're on our toes right now. But have to be prepared for all scenarios. Taking a look here, let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to start marking out possible setups, and this is a possible setup right here. I do have an alert for if it crosses the daily central pivot. Okay, and I do have a possible setup here on the M2 for the Aussie yen, and possible setup here on the Canadian. We'll see if these are the lows for the week. All right, we'll see if they're the lows for the week. And then I do have a possible setup here at the central pivot for the euro yen. I do have a setup here for the M2, possible setup at the M2 for the euro US dollar. We'll see if that holds. And another possible setup here on the Aussie dollar. Whoa, lost it. There we go. And then the last but not least, because I'm in on this one, is from last week, is the possible setup at the bounce on the central pivot point for the week for the pound dollar. So let's go ahead. So it looks like I have everything, and everything's on the table right now. Let's go back on over to the dark charts. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so what I still need to have here is for the pound to break above and then back test, and then hopefully off we go. On the pound yen, same thing here. I would need for it to break up. If those don't happen today, then at the end of the New York, if we do have this box here that go sideways, then I'll be able to take it in here for an up. Same thing in here. If it's a sideways box, I'll be able to take it in here for an up. That's the trade plan. Again, that's if everything holds today. But if we keep getting these rejections to the downside, see here a rejection right here at the central pivot and the 21. And here's my 21 rejections right now so far on the pound dollar. We're struggling right now to breach resistance, which is by all these candles, right? Like this whole structure right in here. This is all resistance, and we're trying to get above all that. Same thing in here. This is all resistance in here. We're struggling to get above it right now. And then with the dollar euro, we're same thing here. We're so I need to see. I would like to see congruency across the board. All right, I had to let the dog in because it is hailing and stormy out there. So hopefully my internet connection doesn't cut off, or worse yet, the power outage, because I don't have an uninterrupted power supply. But the weather is definitely matching price action today. Very stormy and full of hail. Right now, I did get the price alert or the day trade alert for the pound yen. So we did breach above the daily central pivot. Now a rejection would be if we fall back under again, right? So I do need price to come up, or maybe not even that high. It doesn't even need to come up that high, as long as we have a little bit of a daylight in there, and then I'll be taking it for long. Also, we're looking here at the pound US dollar at the daily central pivot. We need to see if that breaches as well. So that's where we stand right now. We'll see. I would like to see again if these are the lows for the week. That would be really, really nice if for our bullish trend, if these are all lows for the week right here. These are all the M2s, right where the weekly bulls would be buying. So price came right down there real quick and hard and fast. So let's see if that holds. Time is 10:51 a.m. All right, it's 12:30 p.m. my time, so we're showing a little bit of rejection right now at the daily central pivot. A little disappointed on the pound yen because I kind of wanted it to break back above the central pivot and continue. We're seeing also congruency here on the pound US dollar as well. We're starting to see that turnaround right at resistance, right on the CAD yen, the Australian yen, and the Australian US dollar. Also seeing that that waterfall as well on the Euro US dollar. So that doesn't bode well for our pound yens, but we're still sitting at support, so we'll see how that plays out. All right, okay, it's 1:47 p.m. Still an hour and 13 minutes away from the New York close. Just taking a quick look here at the markets. We may actually be getting a setup here real soon. If I see that the pivots maintain a sideways pivot, then I can hopefully get it right inside here on both the pounds. But we would have to have a little bit more of a move up to drag these pivots upwards a little bit, because once the spread happens just before it closes, the pivots are going to move right back down. So that's real close. It's a close call. Everything else is down. We have down pivots everywhere else. So nothing yet. Maybe tomorrow during London or New York session. And let's take a quick look at Bitcoin here. Okay, yeah. So we slid a little bit. Like I said, this was the sell zone right here, with the pivots and with the declining resistance with this wedge here. So and this also, it was where the bulls were taking profits for the day. We are continuing seeing wicks on the top side, so that's telling me that we're probably going to have a little bit more selling pressure and more consolidation ahead. So let's go back. That's where we're at right now. I'm going to do another update here real soon as we get closer to the New York close. Okay, so it's 2:01 p.m. We still have an hour. I won't be doing any front running, just because these boxes here are just too much of an uncertainty on where it's going to lie here in the next hour. If we get the slightest move down, then it's going to be a down box. So if I front run now, then it might not be a valid trade setup. So I'm gonna hold off. It would have been easier if we were up a little bit higher, and we already had a little bit higher of a box, and we are sitting right here. But where we're at right now is just too close to call, so I won't be doing any front running. All eyes are going to be on the New York close. Okay, yeah, so this is what I'm talking about right here. This right here would have screwed me, this down move right here, pulling the pivot down, and then when the spread widens, the pivot's going to come down even more. Same thing here. Okay, so we at the last 15 minutes or so, we had a nice little move up. So it looks like we're going to get those sideways boxes, and we're about to have pivot lock here real soon. And we're within 1 minute. I'm going to be placing pending orders for these guys.
Okay, and coming up, almost there. Okay. And I can't place a pending order there because we have the spread. Oh yeah, it allowed me to. Okay. Yeah, move it down just a little bit. Oh, I already triggered. Okay, I gotta place my stop right away. Modify. Let me place my stops right away first because my prop firm that I'm trading for right now wants to see those stops. So let's go ahead and just place them down here right now. I'm actually in on the pound yen. That took me in right away. So let's go on over to the full pivots. I don't know why it's not showing up here. Take profit. So. Okay, sorry, I had a little bit of a mess up there. Yeah, I had to close out a break even. It clicked sell instead of a buy on my penny order. But let me go ahead and try this one more time. Buy limit. There we go. Okay, we got it now. All right, there we go. So let me go ahead and modify this. That was weird. It's a good thing that it didn't shoot up right away. Let me go ahead and put in my stop loss. Bring this on down. Okay. Okay, so I have both my pending orders in right now. Okay, and let's go ahead and double check. So these are both by limits. Got my stop losses in there. Let's make sure that my 1, 2, 3. Okay, those are my 3 originals. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is find a home for the take profit. Let's see here. Looks like these are all going to be M5ers to me. Okay. Yeah, that was weird. Okay. Anyways, let's see here. Let's go ahead and find a profit target for this guy. All right. So this one here, we're going to have to dive into. Right now I'm going to put it at M5. But we're going to have to dive into my pound dollar chart and see. Pound dollar. want to keep it up at M5. Pound yen. M5. Let's go back. Okay, so that just about concludes it for me here. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, yeah, so everything else is down. Everything else is down, so nothing as far as right now goes, but we're going to be looking ahead for the London and New York markets. So stay tuned. I'm going to immediately start a new video, and we'll see you then. Take care.